Hey, it's Russ from Pro Tools Expert, and I've been sent by the guys over at Scuffham this new amp modelling rack, and it's basically an amp and a cab emulation and effects all in one unit, retailing right now at $99. So there's a lot of amp emulations out there, so I always kind of take these with a pinch of salt when I get them sent to me, for two reasons. One, I'm not a massive fan of them. I think they're easy to spot when you use them in mixes, and often in mixes, when I've got these in mixes, I'm using EQ again afterwards to kind of take fizzy top end out or stuff like that, and just to make them sound more like an amp. Secondly, they can be memory hogs in terms of CPU usage, which means that when you're trying to track with them, you have to push your CPU up to get it tracked, and then you have latency issues. And so in some ways, as you can understand, I'm not a massive fan of them. That doesn't mean I hate them. It just means that I think that I use them sparingly. I often use them in mixes sometimes just to enhance guitars later. But I've been sent this by the guys over at Scuffham, and it's, as you say, it looked pretty interesting. They asked me to have a look at it and review it, so I've done that. I've got it down, and I've got out my trusty Telecaster. It's a dual humbucker using Seymour Duncans. So what it has basically is three amp models, one called the Juke, and then one called the Steeler, and one called the Jackal. Now, I'm not a massive gearhead when it comes to amps, so I'm sure there's somebody who will be watching this who'll say, hey Russ, that's what that amp is. So if you want to put it in the comments, well, you won't need my permission or indeed my invitation to comment on YouTube videos, so away you go. But what I'm saying is I think that looks like a Marshall. As I say, I'm not even going to try, because there's somebody out there that will say, actually, you haven't got a clue what you're talking about when it comes to amps. And you're right, so I'll save you that job. So you can decide what amps are what. But what I wanted to know was how good they are, whether they're usable, whether the amps work. So it's convolution, it's 64-bit. Now I'm hosting it right now in Pro Tools, so it will be hosted as a 32-bit application. And so we have Cab 1 and Cab 2. Lots of effects as well, reverbs and chorus. And then, as I say, 3 amp heads and 3 cabs. And so what you can also do as well is you can drag and drop stuff around in there and add stuff in later on. So you can open stuff and close it, so there's the delay thing, and then you can make those smaller and just make this so it doesn't take up too much screen real estate if you don't want it to, which is quite nice. So what I thought I'd do is just go through some presets really, and what I'm going to do is start with the Duke and just go through some of them. So here's a kind of chorus sound. So center position on my Telecaster. I have to say, very nice sound. Here's an overdrive. '80s chorus clean. Now you also hear some of my pickup, my picking sometimes through the mic that I'm using. So, but straight away I have to say that on the whole, I'm quite impressed. Just turn that up a bit more. Especially these big chorus sounds, they're really nice. There's front pickup on a telly. So very, very nice. other thing, I've left the CPU up as well, and see, it's not too much of a hog. Pretty serious. Nice delay in there. So I have to say the presets seem to have really been worked on. Here's one that some of you will remember from the 80s, the Rockman. So let's go to the other one. The next one is the Jackal, which is that head. This is kind of the rockier one. As I say, electric guitar isn't my first instrument, so if you're one of these people that can shred metal, then download it yourself and really give it a workout. Nice blues there. So there's lots of variation. Nice kind of U2 thing. Giant power lead. Now I think they sound pretty good. Very usable. This one's quite nice. So let's go into the last one. The last amp is called the Stealer. This is particularly nice, this one. Some BB King. That's nice, driven clean. Bit mad. Sweet. A couple more and then we'll come out of these, but I just wanted to go through as many as possible. Steely Ray Blues is nice. The good thing is you can download it as well. You'll be a lot better guitarist than me, and you can download it and try it out yourself. But the great thing is it's fully, as I say, fully adjustable. So you can find your favourite. So I could go to something like, as I say, Heaven's a nice one. There, this one. We can then go through and choose a different cab. So something like a 1x12 vintage stuff. And choose the mic. And the great thing is as well, if you need to save some CPU and you're not using things, let's say you don't want to use the effects, just want to use the amp. And of course, the CPU will drop depending on what you just want to use the cab and the effects on an already processed guitar, then you can do that. You see, in some cases takes the whole thing down by half. So, what do I think? $99. I think that I've heard a lot of these things, and this is pretty impressive. From perhaps I'm out the loop here, but I had not heard of this brand before, and I'm sure there are guitar players who are aficionados of these things. Neil is a big rock fan, and so he might have seen this before. But I have to say, with the CPU usage and the effects and everything else, I think it's a great plugin. And very impressed with it, very useful. I would use it, and as I say, I don't use these very often, but there are several presets that are particularly, I think, for tracking guitars. Back down here in particular, I think in the Juke, there's a couple of really nice things that like here. Studio Clune. These do sound very nice, and I could see myself using it, and so it's very impressive. So a big thumbs up from us. We'll try and get a copy of them for a prize draw in future, but check it out, download it. There's a free 15-day trial, so what you got to lose? This is Russ, a Pro Tools expert. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.